is Paul. I'm reading You and the Law. Yes. That was called admissible of such a nature that the court or judge must allow it to be introduced as certain evidence or testimony. Yes. Then there's what's known as adoption, voluntarily taking a child of another parent into one's family and giving him or her all the rights, privileges, and duties of one's own child. An adoption must be authorized by court according to state law, sections 346, 354, and chart 24. Now, I know that this court has allowed as being admissible Jessica Lee Hodges' written testimony when she was not actually my child. I never adopted her. Now, I can understand a 14 or 15-year-old teenager having some animosity against me as a stepfather, but she was never my child. She was always Heidi Lee Budnick's child. I never adopted her. I never accepted any income into my family from Heidi's previous marriage to Tim Hodges. Now, I had heard a little earlier today in that, that wee whisper that sometimes some of us hear. That every time that a sealed, let me see here, I think I have it here, that Jessica Lee Hodges, the teenage daughter of Heidi Lee Hodges, that the court admitted anything from her, they didn't take into consideration that she was not my actual child. Now, there's the declaration of Heidi Lee Budnick, declaration, Brent Basin reissuing declaration of Heidi Budnick. Brent Basin petitioner's motion. I had gotten one of these confidential reports in a sealed envelope where Jessica said that she had an eyewitness account of what was happening. Now, as I look at it, it seems to me that Clallam County has been admitting evidence of somebody that did not have the legal right to actually have any comments, because I never seen anything. Oh, declaration of Jessica Lee Hodges. Pooch. Now, I had heard, and I don't know if this is true, I know there's going to be some attorneys working on this. Yes, there is, I'll tell you that right now. That Jessica Lee Hodges' involvement in my personal parenting should have been disallowed, considering that she's Heidi's daughter. Now, I never, in the 10 years we were married, ever saw Jessica without her clothes on. She was always clothed, and I never committed any child abuse, any sexual child abuse, or any domestic violence. Now, as that dad of 5 sons, now concentrate! Somebody's been paying a lot of money to obstruct my rights to my sons. My right to my inheritance, and my right to my innovations. Now, as much as we don't want to talk about what a 14, 15, or 16-year-old stepchild would say about the father that Heidi had put in jail while I was on Guam and had abducted my sons, any testimony from Jessica should not have been admitted. As I mentioned this morning, I made sure that Heidi always had her money from her previous relationship, and I never adopted Jessica, and her last name is not my last name. Now, I want to make sure you understand what is admissible evidence. Every time I take a picture of my emails being obstructed, that's admissible evidence. Every one of those 7,000 emails is admissible evidence. The hundreds upon hundreds of thousands of emails is admissible evidence. Okay. Every video, every documented phone call, all recorded phone calls, anything and everything that can be proven is admissible evidence because it's the truth. Now, admitting some sort of testimony from a disgruntled stepdaughter that didn't have my last name and was never adopted into my family, as I understand it, that's probably not admissible.